Welcome to Uncommon Courtesy.
We give you the courtesy of conversation
That's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show.
A jury of his peers finding the former president guilty on every single felony count brought against him by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office.
Today, Donald Trump has been found in New York. Today, Donald Trump is found guilty of all 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. The first time a former U.S. president has been convicted of a crime. The jury reached its verdict, a historic case after just 9.5 hours of deliberation, which began Wednesday. He'll be sentenced on July 11th, 4 days before the Republican National Convention. He faces penalties ranging from a fine to 4 years in prison on each count. Although it's expected he would be sentenced for the offenses concurrently and not consecutively. Man, and what does that mean, sir? Concurrently.
Concurrent means basically they run together.
Yeah.
It means that the time would run together. Like if he got charged with a year on each count, they would all run together. He'd just do 1 year. Now, but consecutively means that if he got 34, if he got a year on all 34 charges apiece, he'd do 1 year on one charge, then have to do the next year on the next charge. And the next, it'd be 34 years basically that he didn't have to do minus good time or whatever else he got. Whatever else he had going on.
And a lot of people didn't know that. So, that's what we're here for at Uncommon Courtesy, to break that down for you.
Yeah.
This is a historic thing for a president to be charged with these crimes.
It's major. I mean, no sitting president, not even sitting, former president even has had to sit down for any kind of a crime or even have a jury pool come in to talk about any kind of a criminal case at the very least. There was 34 different charges. I don't know if we want to go through and read those right now.
Or we can give people a rundown. I could probably do that. So 11 of the guilty charges were he's guilty for invoices for legal services, mostly to Michael Cohen. He was found guilty on 11 other charges, checks paid for legal services. That's the hush money.
Yeah.
And then the other 12 was ledger's entries for legal expenses. So they kept notes of his hoeing.
Basically, the cool part about this to me is that I really didn't feel like this was a big deal. As far as the case went, I'm like, man, what does it matter that he did this? But more than anything else, they're looking at it from a scope of him taking money out of his campaign to basically try to sway an election. That's what they're saying. Like,
and you can't use campaign funds for personal use.
Absolutely not. This is something that obviously the jury, which was comprised, I think they had 2 lawyers that were sitting on the jury as well. So this isn't like you just got a bunch of
random citizens.
No, New York liberals. You had 2 guys who understood the law as well, and I guess they had come back to the judge and asked for a few things, like a few explanations for the prosecution as far as like what this law meant. How are they supposed to interpret this law? And people kind of looked at that as like, oh man, they're gonna side with the defense. But in all honesty, they were really just looking and trying to make sure that whatever they were going to decide was really what it was.
And this was a wild case. They were threatening jurors in the beginning of it. They had he had a gag order, which he almost went to jail for. And he has 34 counts. That's felonies, correct?
Felonies, all 34 felony counts.
All 34 felonies.
I've been hearing they're saying that he may not go to jail for this stuff.
Yeah, of course they won't let him go to jail. He's Donald Trump. He's a former president. He should go to jail. I don't know. Nobody got 34 counts.
Either, man.
I don't know. Nobody got 2 felonies at the time.
The thing of it is right here, what they normally would do, honestly, it's like, you look at it like this. He got that many cases, man. If he were to do, if this were anyone else, there wouldn't even be a question of whether he's going to jail or not.
Yeah.
Not even a question at all.
Because public opinion will tear you up. But since it's a political thing, it's 2 sides of a coin. Some people are like, yeah, he should go to jail. Some people should be like, yo, set him free.
They saying that he could even get probation for this. They're saying that he could even
probation for 30. And that sets the tone there too. People need to realize that here in America, if he can get probation for 34 felonies, anyone can get probation for a felony.
34. When you go to trial, you're pretty much guaranteed. Okay, what?
So this is how it works in the justice system, right?
Go ahead.
This is how they give you a plea bargain agreement, right? They'll be like, hey, if you take this, say the crime you're facing is 2 years or whatever, right? They'll give you a plea bargain like, hey, we'll put you on a year probation, do this class, do this, and then you're gone. Yeah. You're good to go. But if you take it to trial, the prosecutor gets pissed off because they have to work. And so they're going to throw the book at you.
They're going to throw the book at you. They're going to give you the high end of the range.
Yeah.
They said some of these range to 4 years. They could do anything at this point. They could just say, you know what? We'll just give you 4 years and run it. Give you 4 years on every count we can give you 4 years on, and give you a year on all the rest of them, and just run them concurrently. Yeah. But you got to go do the 4 years. That's basically what they're saying.
Yeah. Now they passed the law now where it's like, I think it was in the South, in Louisiana, they passed the law where it's like you have to do 100% of your time. They're not letting you out on good time no more.
They probably got some kind of in New York. They probably still have like parole in New York or something like that. Like where you can get out within doing a certain amount of your time or something like that. I pretty much he'll probably get some good time programs where he could go complete some classes and do whatever else. But I don't know if they're going to give him any time for this, man. This is a huge thing because you look at it like this. They're saying that he won't even be sentenced before the election.
No, they said sentencing is July 11th.
Really?
Yep. They just said. I just read it in an article.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Because everyone was like, hey, that's a pretty quick sentencing. You look at it like this. Okay. The guys who, there was a trial that went on in Chicago. These guys went out and they killed another rapper guy from Chicago. And they got found guilty, I think, in March. And they're going to have their sentencing in January. So, I mean, that's a quick sentencing. That's a very, very,
that's what it said. July 11th is when his sentencing is.
Wow. I mean, maybe they'll set it back. Who knows? Maybe they'll try to set sentencing back.
They should do it on the 4th of July. Too bad the court system ain't open.
It's wild, man. This has even happened, but I don't, like I said, I don't believe he's going to jail.
I believe his poll numbers are going to go up.
I mean, he went out there right after the verdict and said, this is rigged. He said the judge was rigged. The whole system is rigged. This is what he does every single time. This is what I got a friend of mine I talked to about this. He's like, yeah, the election was rigged. I said, man, when he wins, is it rigged then too?
Yeah,
is
it has
rigged
to be
when he wins. You know what I mean? Because if it's only rigged when you lose, then it's a problem. But right now, he doesn't care what he says about the judge right now. He said,
yeah, I'll get out there and talk about his sister, his mama.
Because he can sentence you however he wants to. You can say whatever you want, but he can say, okay, cool. I'm going to give you a year on everyone I can give you a year on, and I'm going to run that consecutively.
Yeah,
because he'll be 4 years on each one of these and run them off.
Yeah, he can throw the book at him. He'd be like, yo, think about it. He makes him go do some time where it's like he don't even get to campaign. Like, you got to do 3 months.
And that's what the guy said too. He said, man, what if he put him on house arrest? It made him just, throughout the whole entire, now he can't even go on campaign. It would seem rigged if he did that. If he does not get time for 34 felony counts.
34.
These are the lowest level of felonies in that state, though, honestly. All these, they said this, I guess there's this is the lowest level of felony that you can get.
Still felony.
It's still a felony.
And think about it. With a felony, you can't vote.
I don't know anybody. You can't vote.
You can't vote.
You can't own a firearm. I don't know anybody who's gotten 34 felony counts and didn't do time.
I don't know nobody got a gross misdemeanor and didn't do no time. You know what I'm saying? 34?
Especially if they take it to the box. It's called taking it to the box. Taking it to the box means going to trial.
Yeah.
He took it to the box. He lost. He got washed 34-0. It's
34-0.
He got skunked. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's huge, man, to even think about like where this is heading. I mean, this means that they believed Michael Cohen.
No, that means they looked at the evidence and it's all there. Just like with January 6th, we looked at the evidence. It's all there.
It's all there.
It just has to. That's why they're postponing the ones in Georgia because they know that's the worst one. That one in Florida.
That's why I just told somebody today. I was talking to my brother today. I told him, I said, man, look, the other two is ones I thought he was going to get washed on.
Yeah.
This one right here, I'm like, there's a good chance he might beat it. But I saw, was it Comey, the former FBI director? He kept on coming out saying that Trump's going to get found guilty of this. Yeah. I mean, because they've seen all the evidence. I didn't watch the trial like that. I didn't watch it intently as much as I probably should have. But when it came out that Cohen had stole $30,000, and when it came out that he also lied. I mean, basically, he's fumbling over whether he knew or not, remember or not, whether he called Trump right after to verify that this payment was for Stormy Daniels or not. I was kind of concerned. I'm like, man, I don't know if
there's too much. There was too much evidence. The evidence is mounted because they didn't expect to lose the election. They didn't expect none of that stuff. So they didn't even plan to lose. They're like, okay, if we lose, let's cover this up. No, they thought they were going to overthrow the government and it wouldn't matter what he did because he's still in office, but he didn't. Like in the words of DJ Khaled, you played yourself.
And the cold part, but he took it to the box. I don't think you guys understand, man, how really
everyone takes it to the box. Everyone, think about it. When you go up there, they can have you on videotape stabbing 7 people, and it'd be like, my name's D Mac Uno. I'd have stabbed 7 people, but you're gonna get up there and be like, not guilty. So you got some time. So you got some time to think about what you want to do, get a lawyer.
Or just negotiate a plea. You know what I mean? That's because most things get pleaded. I think 97%, 95%, they have like a 95, 97% conviction rate because of plea bargains. Because they'll give you like, hey, this is better than what the alternative could be. And if there's a good chance of me that you may or not done it or not, but even if you didn't do it, if you see, okay, I'm facing 10 and they could find me guilty of this even though I didn't do it, or I'm facing this 5 months, You're going to go ahead and take that 5 months.
They might give you house arrest. You might get lucky. Be like, hey, I got a job.
You might get probation. You might be taking charges that you didn't even do. But this dude he's still thundering against them. He's going against the judge. There's a good chance, man, that if he gets found guilty of all these charges, bro, he might spend the rest of his life in prison.
He probably will. He's going to. There's all the evidence is there. Like I said, they stacked up. Everyone was like, why is it taking so long? Because they want to make sure they had everything down to the T. Excuse me, they got so many people they already let off of all these other crimes for their testimony. Yeah. They're just waiting for the trials to pop up. Like I said, they're going to pull a RICO charge on him and everybody else and take them all down.
That's a huge one right there. If that comes out the box, which it should, if you look at everything that's going on, I mean, they got the case going on in Arizona. They got the one that he just lost here in New York, or there's two in New York. You got the one in Florida, Michigan, Georgia. Yep. You know, I think are they doing one in Pennsylvania too? I think so. Yep. Yeah. And I think the only one they didn't charge. There's like 6 or 7 of the electorates. And the only one they didn't charge in is Wisconsin so far.
No, I think he wouldn't have called it. I think he wouldn't have called it rig if he got if it was 22 and 12. You know what I'm saying? Like he got 22 for. See, I did half the shit.
You know what I mean? No, I think he would have called it. I mean, it doesn't even matter. He's going to come out and say it's rigged no matter what. Because he said it before it even came out. If I get found guilty, it's rigged.
Yeah.
You know, if I lose, it's rigged. I mean, what the hell?
This is crazy.
Everything, it doesn't matter what happens. I mean, I've had more friends of mine tell me that the justice system's rigged and you guys should know about this because this happens to you. And why are you guys like Democrats? They're racist, blah, 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 blah.
Well, check it out. Yeah. The justice system is rigged and you had your chance to fix it. Well, you didn't. So guess what?
And you guys knew about it. That's the biggest thing. I'm like, listen to it. Like, if you guys knew this, if you're able to say it when it's happening to you and you knew it was happening to us, like he just said, then you didn't know this before? You didn't know that both sides of it, like he came out like, it's the same thing when he went to that Black Republican conference. Well, I feel that Black people kind of like me more because this is what happens to them. You remember when?
I remember that.
Remember when Stone, what's his name?
What's his name? Joe Biden came out today talking about what if all the people on January 6th were Black? I'm like, we already talked about that. We knew exactly what would happen. Pop, dead bodies on the ground. They would have left the blood there to let everybody else know not what to do. You know what I'm saying? But hey, let us know what you think. Uncommon Courtesy, we're going to keep you updated here with the Trump trial. Like, listen, subscribe, and share.